live, you are live.
Good morning and welcome to quite a grey sunrise safari. My name is Nat.Geo Smith. I do apologize if we are having some audio difficulties this morning, but we will have them sorted quickly. So it is drizzling, believe it or not. As I said, it's unlikely we're going to get any major rain again before November, but we are prone to a little bit of bad weather. But if you're a cat, it's wonderful. So hopefully we'll find some cats on the move. So we're going to go look for those lions. But first, I'm afraid we do have to try sort our audio, and it shouldn't take too long. I have Brian Joubert on camera. There he is, and the thumb. And what is on the thumb? Oh, it's got its tie. It's very businesslike today. Brian is ready for some serious business of camera work. And we have Rebecca and Geraldine in final control. And we have Sam and Gendre out on the other vehicle. But as you can see, not much of a sunrise to see this morning. And fortunately, the drizzle has stopped a little. And it will hopefully hold off for the rest of the sunrise safari. And we'll be able to show you all sorts of weird, wild, and wonderful creatures. So let's go check quarantine for lion traps. It's a chilly 19 degrees Celsius, 66 degrees Fahrenheit. And of course, what we consider chilly is a balmy, warm day for a lot of our viewers in the north. Why one would choose to live where there is snow, I do not understand. So a lot of you will notice I popped a picture on yesterday, and I was lucky enough to go exploring and learning a little bit more about how thingamajigs and jigamajags work. So those of you who are not sure what thingamajigs and jigamajags are, that's how we get the picture to you. So there's a thingamajig on the back of the vehicle that sends a jigamajag to the top of a mountain, and I happened to visit the top of that mountain yesterday. Very interesting and very exciting stuff. Well, not so much the thingamajigs and the jigamajags. I was just ecstatic to be on top of a mountain looking at a type of fynbos and incredible flowers. We also saw a monkey species that only occurs in this area, in this incredible mist-belt forest that occurs from about 800 meters to 1,400 meters above sea level. And it is basically the belt where the mist sits, strangely enough. Made up of wonderful trees, yellow woods and stink woods, and we saw a Simango monkey and a bushbuck. That was about it from the wildlife point of view. We did get to see some Cape vultures flying below us. Now, that cliff is incredible. I mean, it's 1,900 meters above sea level. Absolutely stunning. Sarah, one of our regulars. Sarah's 18 years old, and one of her school projects was a research paper on the Nkuhuma pride dynamics. And excellent news, it has been published by her school newspaper. Well done, Sarah. Sarah, be sure, if there is a digital version of that paper, pop it on Twitter or even email it to us. And if you want to do that, you can. For other people who don't know how to email and tweet just yet, our email address is questions@WildEarth.tv, or you can just use the hashtag SafariLive on Twitter. So I am speaking ridiculously loudly because my lapel mic is not working. So I'm trying to make sure you can hear me through the fluffy mic on top. I should be able to sort this out in about 30 seconds, hopefully. As we go in to fix our sound, let's jump on board with Sam.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the northeast part of South Africa, the Sabi Sands. I am Sam Chevalier. It is great to meet all of you. This is my second drive for WildEarthTV. It's been a very, very, very exciting 2 days since I just arrived, and wow, what an experience. I think I'm going to be meeting a whole new bunch of people this morning, as last night is a different group of people. So welcome, thank you for listening to me and being part of my first drives. Rebecca's as a director today. We have Jean-Dre behind camera. Jean-Dre. And yes, it's been raining a little bit, which is great. You know, as Jean-Ray was explaining to me, this is almost like a hurricane in the Sabi Sands in terms of, you know, the weather and the drought and all of that. But this morning we're gonna head and just drive around. Pretty much, I don't really know the roads yet. I'm learning all the roads. Jean-Ray's pointing me in different directions. So I'm still learning the ecology, learning the parts of this area. So it's all quite difficult at the moment, but extremely exciting. And I'm looking forward to getting to know the landscape and understanding where the leopards might be, where their territories are. So it's all really exciting. You know, when that feeling when you go to somewhere new and there's just so much to see and do. So welcome to Safari Live with Sam and Jean-Ray this morning. Wow. You wouldn't be able to feel this, but there's quite a strong drizzle that's coming onto my face, and this is exciting. As I said yesterday, when I last came here, the bush veld was extremely dry. So to have this rain is so important. Last time I just noticed how thirsty the bush was, and it just looks like it's drinking up all this water. So all this water is great. Of course, it might create technical difficulties a bit later if it rains a bit harder, and we'll have to stop the show, but that's okay. It's gonna be great. I still find it amazing that I'm talking into a camera that can be listened to, you know, whoever wants to in the world. So I always find that quite intimidating as I look into that camera, look into the eyes of everyone else. As I said yesterday, it's such a great opportunity to be able to go out into the bush and to go with a whole bunch of people that are also interested, you know. I truly believe that shared experiences will bring people together, and for a conservation and ecological point of view, so important, so we can better understand the way in which ecosystems work and just learn together. It's great. Hello, Kathy in Tennessee. I'm also really excited. I'm excited to be on drive with you. Yesterday I was exceptionally nervous. Today I'm feeling a little bit better. Jean-Ray has been amazing behind the camera, keeping me nice and focused and all of that. But Kathy, I'm excited. Let's see what we can find. I'm really hoping that we can come across a leopard this morning. I still haven't seen a leopard, so it will be a first for me if we get to see that. But we are coming across a watering hole, so I'm just going to keep it down a little bit and drive slowly across. And the viewers yesterday got quite excited, well, at least I got quite excited, to start a bird list. And I'm just going to get a bird book. Good morning, Alan from New Zealand. Yes, I'm looking to get as many as I can. I've got my bird book, and I've got this book here. Now I'm just trying to find my pen. So, it's been really exciting to be able to learn the birds again, because I haven't been in the bush for over a year and a half. And so my bird knowledge and everything is very, very rusty. And so I thought it would be a really good idea to start a bird list with all of you and whoever's new on the show. Like, you know, this could be an opportunity where we can grow one together. So I'll quickly say where we are. Yesterday, we just managed to get 4 birds. We had the magpie shrike, the red-bill oxpecker, the blacksmith plover, which was the tinking bird, and the crested franklin, which makes an awful racket sometimes and runs in front of your vehicle. I always get excited when I see the crested franklin, old friend. And here we are at the watering hole. Can we see anything? So I've just been informed by Rebecca, who's the new director, and this is the first drive I'm going on with Rebecca, so I'm very excited. Thank you, Rebecca. And she's just informed me that this is Tree House Dam. So slowly but surely I'm learning the roads and learning the dams and understanding the area. But it doesn't seem like I can see any birds at the watering hole. Types of birds that we might be able to see at the watering hole are grey herons, once again the blacksmith plover, you can see the black crake or African jacanas. So we just have to look and see if we can see anything. Can you see anything, Jandre? Okay, it's better not to force them out. Maybe when we're just driving on our way we'll see a bird or two and we'll take that to our list. At the moment, okay, excuse me everyone, I'm just going to call Brent. I need to use the other one. Brent, go ahead. Brent, I'm struggling to get audio. Would you be able to relay the message through to Rebecca and I'll hear from her? For some reason the volume is not so high. Cool. It's an interesting thing trying to use and get to know the vehicle as well as everything. There's so much complexity involved in starting the job, and I just found that the sound is not so, I can't hear it that well when I'm talking to the other presenters out there. Brent has just informed me that there are leopard tracks in this area. There's a potential for mating leopards in this area. We just spoke about seeing a leopard, so I'm going to drive slowly and see if we can find any tracks of the leopard and see if we can work them. And hopefully, with all of you, we may experience a leopard. For me, for the first time, and maybe for many viewers, the first time for you too. So let's take this. It's a live safari. We don't know what's going to happen. We'll have to see. In the meanwhile, while I work these tracks, we're going to link you back to Brent. I'll see you just now.
So exciting news! Mating leopards back again. It sounds like they crossed during the night. Oh, sorry, Taxon's just trying to get hold of me. Standing by. Hey, firm. It was the other one that was chasing the bird. Sorry guys, back with you in a sec. Yeah, he seems to be better now. He's not in must anymore. He seems to be better now. He's not in must anymore. Okay, so we're in search of tracks. Taxon is coming in from the west. Aubrey's going straight to where the tracks are. Sam's somewhere in the middle. So we're going to take the east. Brian, are you in the mood for leopards?
I am indeed.
Yes, let's be in the mood for leopards, then we shall find them. Sorry guys, the Game Drive channel is incredibly busy this morning. Good morning, Michael, go ahead. Hey Fim, thanks copy Mike. Aubrey's going to last tracks, Tax's checking from Zoe's side, and we're checking Weaver's Nest through to the boundary. So coordinating a multi-pronged search for the mating leopards. And as you can see, we do apologize for the speckles of damp that are appearing on the... Now, in this, as wonderful it is to have a little bit of rain, which Koi was asking, are we expecting rain? We weren't, but we now have it. But it does make tracking a little bit difficult. This light is, for tracking, one would describe it as probably horrific. So I will be using my spotlight, not to shine off into the bush, but to just see if I can see what's on the road. But that is a hyena. So not what we're in search of. So onward. So it seems like it is still Thandi. So Thandi and Tingana that are still mating, and it must be getting towards the end of their little honeymoon, one would say. Now, quite a lot of people wonder, but we've seen them mating. I think this is the third time now. So it's not every time that when leopards and lions mate that they actually get impregnated, and it's not uncommon for the same female to mate 3 or 4 times before she actually gets impregnated. But if we do find them today, it's going to be very interesting if we watch the behavior compared to a few days ago when we saw them and the mating was still very aggressive. Towards the end, it sort of has a little bit of lackluster, and they don't mate as frequently. So if we work it out now, it's probably been 4 or 5 days. Copy, well done, Orbs. I'm at Pangolin Track. Let me just find out if Sam's closer. Okay, so they found Tingana. They haven't seen Thandi, the loved one, yet. And I'm a little bit relieved. This weather is not great for walking and tracking, so it seems like they made it a little bit easy for us. So I wonder where I'm going to try and find out. So Steph says, I thought Tingana made his escape. Did she chase him down? She most certainly did. Female leopards are very, very focused when it comes to mating, and they will keep on looking for that male. Sorry guys, I just need to be on the game drive again here. Sam. Sam, what's your position? Copy, they've got those leopards. I'm just trying to figure out which one of us is closer. They're on Shabam Road. that's affirmative. Sorry guys, be with you in a sec. Sam, I think I'm a little bit closer, but if you'd like to go there, you're more than welcome. Sorry guys, just okay, we're gonna get Sam's a bit closer. He's at Treehouse Dam, and those leopards are just down the road there. Oh, it's starting to get a little bit wet. So, Brian, I know we're in the mood for leopards, but should we do lions?
Might as well.
Might as well. Let's go see if we can find the Nkuhuma ladies. Ooh. Oh no, we're on our way to the leopards apparently. Sorry, change of plan, Brian. We are in the mood for leopards. Yay, Brian is very happy. The thumb in his business suit is very happy. I am slightly not so happy, and that's nothing to do with the leopards. Sorry guys, I'm just figuring out where they're moving. But as you can see, it's suddenly got a little bit more damp. And I'm not so happy because I thought, you know, I'm really tough. And it's not going to rain that much and I don't need a big jacket. Of course, I was wrong. And now I'm being pelted with small raindrops. Well, a rainy leopard day. Oh, it sounds like they've changed direction. They're actually going to head straight at Sam. Sorry about a bit of confusion. Sam's having a bit of problems with his game drive comms. So, Sam's right there. The leopards are about to walk into him. So, again, Brian, we're going looking for lions. Okay, 1 second. Oh, well, I'm going to have my second shower for the day. Orbs, Sam is right at Treehouse Dam, so he's going to move into that area. I'm going to go check for Nkuhumas. Oh, okay. Sorry guys, it seems like that Sam and Jandre are having a bit of water issues with their camera, so they're going to be down for a bit. So you're stuck with the killer bees.
Yeah.
So Aubrey's just lost those leopards in a very thick block, and of course we are quite adept at sneaking through thick blocks. The reason is because our vehicles are a little bit shorter than normal game drive vehicles. We're able to get in and out of places that some of the bigger vehicles are not. Oh, yes, I'm being shouted at by Brian.
Not shouted at, asked.
Oh, just asked, yes, but we are getting too much water now. Do you want your dress? There you go. No, I definitely did not predict this weather. So what I think we're going to do, if it carries on getting a bit harder, we might have to go and have a break and maybe wait for it to stop. Of course, we've got lots of very expensive equipment, but that doesn't bother me so much as the electrical equipment. And I don't think you want to see Brian and I or our hair standing at the end. So what I'm going to try to do is get into those leopards. We can have a quick view of those leopards before the rain gets any harder. And then judging once we're with those leopards, because we're not going to be moving as much, so the rain's not going to affect us as much, we'll make the call from there. Wow, that's quite cold.
Yeah.
I think it is time. At least I didn't bring a big jacket, but at least I did bring one of my numerous multicolored Kenyan devices, which helps with a bit of warmth.
It's quite hard now.
Yes, this is getting quite hot. So, as I said, we're going to try and get to those leopards quickly, give you a quick view, and if this carries on, I'm afraid we are going to have to take a respite. Stay. Naughty rain cover. Okay, we're very close by now. Aubrey. Oh dear, now something has gone incredibly wrong. There we go. Orbs, coming up Elephant Skull from Weaver's Nest. Have you still got visual? Copy, thanks. Do you want me to check savages? Copy, thanks. So they have gone into an incredibly difficult area. So we have lost many a leopard in this very small block because it is very thick. So Orb says they're walking up and down, so maybe Tingana is trying to shake his lady friend again. Brian, you must let me know if we get too wet in our search for leopards. We just heard that it sounds like they snuck past us. Yeah, so I didn't see any tracks. Okay, so all we just said, they're making quite a bit of noise. We're just going to sit quietly for a second. While we do that, make sure they don't sneak up on Brian. Natasha is wondering, will they keep mating till she gets pregnant? No, that is not the case. She has a very set estrous cycle, and she will stop mating, and if she doesn't get pregnant, she'll start mating again the next time that estrous cycle comes along. Sorry. Standing by, James. found them. Hold on. So they actually moved right close to the boundary again, so that's going to blow off because I'm going to have to drive quite quickly. So we're just going to try and get one, what do you say, Brian, one good view, and then we're going to call it for a little bit till the rain eases up a bit.
Sounds good.
So, of course we want to bring you the best safari possible, but we also want to still be able to do a safari in the afternoon, and that's why we might have to take a little break. Hopefully the weather will ease up. The problem with this type of weather is it comes in waves. So at the moment we're like, ooh, it's not so bad. And then we get further and further away from camp, and then suddenly for the next 10 minutes it'll come down much harder. And then, ooh, it'll be not so bad. But we will keep trucking on while we can. I'm just listening to the game drive comms. I need to know exactly where these leopards are. Standing by. Copy, thanks James, all sorted. Okay, so the leopards are here somewhere. I just really need my ears for a second just to find out exactly where Aubrey has located the felines. Watch your head, Brian. There we go. Now this is our the southern edge of our traverse. Oh dear, they've disappeared again. Orbs, where would you like me to check? Copy, thanks. Go ahead, Sam. Okay, so they've disappeared into these monkey orange thickets again, so we're just going to pop ourselves a little bit high. And Taxon's standing by there, Aubrey's there. I think we'll go just beyond them and do the same. We're going to sit and listen. Oh. You can see, I was talking about how the weather comes in waves. So there's the next wave of rain. So at the moment, it's just a bit chilly, but barely a drop. And you can see that what Brian just showed you is going to come closer to us. So we're just standing by and listening. And we're listening for that very distinct sound of mating leopards. So while we sit quietly and listen, why don't we go see what Sam's up to? And hopefully when we be back, it'll be with the kitty cat.
Well, it's been raining, everyone. As you can imagine, since I last saw you, Chandra and I have been listening through the block and trying to find our way towards the leopards, but then all of a sudden a shower came and we had to close up the camera and switch it off, and I don't know where I am, so I was very, very confused on what to do, but we managed to figure it out, and from what I hear, I think Brent's on his way to the leopards, so we're just going to head towards camp, towards the area of camp, just and see what we can find, because at the moment the rain is going to cause a few issues, and we don't want to destroy any of the technical things on the vehicles. So with that, we're going to just carry on and see what we can find. Otherwise, let's have a quick conversation while Brent is out there looking for those leopards. That's super exciting, eh? Imagine seeing mating leopards. It'll be a first for me with WildEarthTV. I've seen them before. Oh wow, I've just got a really great question about the folklore around rain. Yes, thank you, Rebecca. This is, we're gonna head this way. Do you know where I used to live in the Cederberg Mountains, just outside Cape Town there? I was learning about the way in which the Bushmen used to understand and have the relationship to the natural world. And rain was such an important thing. Imagine your country, wherever you are in the world, didn't have any rain. And you know, you lived on the land. You didn't have showers, all these sort of things. So your relationship with water would be a lot stronger. So the Bushmen's relationship to rain was incredible. When they felt or saw rain, it was a gift almost from the gods, and they used to praise the rain as it fell, because what would that create? That would create the greener grasses, which would bring the herbivores in, which would bring the predators in. And so rain in most traditions around the world, in cultures that are still very in touch with their indigenous side, will see rain as a very, very important and powerful thing in their lives. So both times since I've been back at here on WildEarthTV, I've seen it rain. I've only taken 4 drives, 2 interviews, and now this one, or yesterday and this morning, and it's rained twice. So I feel very, very, very excited. You can see Chandra is also very excited that it's raining. Not so much on his technical kit, but yeah, there's loads of myths and that sort of thing around it. Hello, Giraffe from San Francisco. Sounds like a song. Anyway, yes, no, I didn't do a rain dance. I have to be honest, I did not do a rain dance last night. I did think of it while I was lying in my bed. Last night I just heard all the elephants that were just outside our camp. And I did think about a rain dance and how much fun that was. So I didn't actually do one. Maybe in the near future, when we don't have so much rain, I'll do a rain dance for you guys. But strangely, I have the tendency to stand on my... Ooh, hold on, we're gonna link to Brent. See you later.
There we go. We've caught up with them. Unfortunately, as we arrived, we could just hear them mating, and as we found her, they have stopped, but I'm sure they'll mate again soon. Yeah, let's try to get into a better position. There's Tingana. Thandi's coming closer to us on the right, so she's looking particularly feisty this morning. Maybe it's just the weather. She's sniffing around. I wonder if she's just lost sight of him. That's what she's looking for. Hasn't spotted him slightly to the south of her. Yeah, she's going to go behind Taxon. And while she goes looking for Tingana, Mr. Tingana is next to Aubrey. Here she comes. She's spotted him. There almost seems to be a slightly strange standoff happening at the moment. Is there a tree here somewhere? I see them both looking up and smelling around intently. Now, this is the area where I last had Karula's tracks as well. A day or two ago. Oh, here we go. Flirting starts. Growling starts. And the more hissing. Look at that, she's spitting at him, literally. And you can see how well her camouflage works as she lies down, disappears completely. Now, he's definitely smelt something, and he seems to be looking around, he seems to be checking all the trees. Now, I wonder if Karula hasn't had a kill in this area in the last couple of days. We did lose her tracks somewhere close to here. So, quite often when leopards mate, they don't do too much else. And Deanna's wondering, do they hunt? Well, just remember, they are opportunists, so it is possible that they'll hunt. But generally, while mating, they make a bit too much noise. Maybe Tingana is smelling Karula's scent mark. Maybe that's what he's sniffing at so intently. And that could be why Thandi is feeling uncomfortable. Brian, can you see? He keeps looking into the trees. I can't see any signs of a carcass. It doesn't mean there wasn't one there. Of course, a leopard's sense of smell is infinitely better than ours. He's definitely interested in something. Now, this cool, windy, wet weather is actually quite a favorite for the big cats. They don't have to worry about overheating. They can be very active on days and mornings like this. That he is really, really interested in that, in something on that marula tree. I think it's very strongly possible that it's one of Karula's scent marks he's smelling if there wasn't a carcass around here. Now, this little bit of rain has caused Jim to wonder, oh, look at him, he's going up the tree. Maybe there was something up there, but I can't see anything. Sorry, but there we go. Look at that. Sniffy, sniff, sniff, sniff. Just this behavior makes me think that Karula has had a kill in this area. Maybe not a scent mark. I think he's definitely in search of a free meal. And it might be finished already. He's going to go higher. Now, if Karula had put a carcass up that particular branch, I think that would be out of Mr. Tingana's range. Males are quite a lot bigger than the females and sometimes not quite as agile. As we watch Tingana sniffing from up a tree, Jim Butler was wondering, does the rain mask the scent of the predators? Not to the biggest degree, Jim. The thing what the rain does is it stops the sound and also, oh, look at that jump! Oh, right across. Very interested in something up that tree. But the wind and the rain will mask the presence and sound and movement of a predator much better. Might come down. Grant Rogers is, oh, here comes Thandi at the base. Growling and flirting at him up in the tree. She's going to go up. Looked like she was going to go up. Now, wouldn't that be something spectacular to see? A leopard mating in a tree. We saw Kwatile quite a long time ago try and mate with Mvula in a tree. But as you can imagine, it's probably quite a precarious thing, especially with the aggression of leopards mating. We're just going to try and get ourselves into a slightly better spot. She's going to jump right. There we go. One but two leopards in a tree. Yeah, Thandi growling. She almost looks confused, and he almost looks quite happy with himself that he's up there and she can't get to him. He's on his way down. tail underneath his nose and harass him. See, she's presenting to him. Oh, there we go. Interesting enough, as I said, it's going to be interesting to see if there's still that same amount of aggression, and there seems to be. Yeah, some post-coital snarling. Poor Mvula seems convinced, not Mvula, Tingana seems convinced that there's meat in that tree he's just been up. He keeps staring longingly at it. Now, Thandi's aggression could be the fact that Karula could be around here, or she has been around here recently. And she definitely doesn't look as comfortable as she was a few days ago. See how her ears are flat? She's constantly listening and scanning. She might be a bit worried that the Karula might make an appearance. Now, it's not uncommon for a female leopard to trail mating pairs that are in their area. And maybe she's a little bit worried about her mother. I've lost sight of Mvula, but he does seem to be heading slightly more west. Tingana. Why I keep calling him Mvula today?
Tingana and Thandi, that's the forest. That's the Bamu Road, junction with Gari Man. This is Gari sign.
I'm thinking, welcome. Oh, she's going up.
Yeah, just right here at the northern side of the farm.
And again. So, there we go. I think there must have been a kill up there. Look at that. Ben, a huge welcome, who's a brand new viewer. Welcome. Ben saying, why do they mate so quickly? So, Ben, they'll mate on average once every 15 minutes for 4 or 5 days. So it is very quick, very aggressive. Now, a male leopard's penis is barbed, so it actually hurts, and that causes that aggression. And there's he go. So that is why it is so quick. If it had to be anything prolonged, it would probably be too painful for the female to withstand. Now the barbs are there to help ensure insemination. She's watching him. He's walking where we can't see, but I can definitely see she's very intently watching him. Oh, he's popped out next to us. I just didn't see him there. Not the best view. He's moving through the thickets. So while we wait to see what plays out with this leopard scenario, let's go see what Sam's got. Well,
We're here now, guys. Can you see the hyena? Wow. Wow, that was amazing, guys. We were tracking a hyena just down one of the dens, and we went to the more active den, and then we just came to one of the older dens to see if there might be a hyena. And as we came down the road, you know, here he was, or she was, and can't really tell if it's a male or a female. I'll have a look now. I'm going to just switch off this vehicle and see if we can get a good... Ooh, she's just gone. Ooh, there's another one coming through in the back there. You see? There's three. Wow, this is spectacular, everyone. Wow. We were just earlier looking for the leopards that Brent are now. I heard that's a spectacular sighting, but hyenas are definitely one of my very, very favorite animals, just because they're so curious. As you can see, this hyena is just walking around our vehicle. It's coming right down to the vehicle. Wow, this is amazing. Can you see the youngster? Chandra, oh wow. So everyone, this is the spotted hyena. And it seems that this den might be becoming active. Because as I've been told, I mentioned earlier that this was actually an old den, and now it seems to be active. But look, oh, this is amazing. When I was here just a couple of weeks ago, I was with the hyenas and we were with some very young ones. So I'm not sure, Chandra, is this part of the same clan?
Same clan.
Same clan. And I remember one of the viewers, oh, hello. Whoa. Just came right up to my vehicle. I got a little bit of a fright there. But this is, oh man, this is just so cool. As I was saying, when I was last year, one of the viewers helped me understand who was who here and when they were born. It was in November and December that they had some cubs. Oh. Hello. Where did you go? There she is. Oh. So what we understand is hello, Michael, who is 13. Thank you for that question. You know, that was something that baffled me when I first started guiding. Michael was you know, is it more related to a dog or a cat? And of course we call hyena cubs. We call them cubs, so they're much more related to the cat family than they are to the dog, which hugely surprised me when I first came and started studying in the bush. So we call them cubs. You can also tell by their paw prints from the tracks. You know, when you look at the tracks, sometimes you might think that they are not cats. I used to think because they have nails. So the type of animals that have nails in the front, also cheetah. Cheetah also have nails, so that can confirm something. It can create difference. Once you start to understand a little bit more about tracks and science, you can start to understand the relation a little bit better between the species. But right here, the cub is, this is incredible. I know that you guys have been having an exciting time. Oh, what do you guys... It's so nice to just be quiet here with these hyenas and watch them, hey? You know, I think when it rains, when I was last year, I don't know if any of you guys were with me on that sighting, but we were just driving around and all of a sudden we came across 2 hyenas that were swimming in the rain, and they were swimming in the water, and that was just after the rains, and so I think that they definitely enjoy water. And I mean, it's a bit of a coincidence that I come back the second time and they're enjoying the rain, or they're outside during the rain. And we said a little bit earlier when they might be in the den, but actually not, and they're walking around and they're being curious, and so it's interesting to see their behavior in this rain. It's quite great. And as you can tell, like, the bush has become so thick in vegetation since the start of the rains a couple of weeks ago. We've had something like over 200 mils of rain, and it's had a big influence to the animals and the species of plants, and of course that. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by these beautiful hyenas that are playing around us. What have you got there? As some of you would have learned through the other presenters, that hyenas have a super interesting social structure. They actually have a matriarch that holds it. It's the females that dominate the den. And it works in almost like a class system where the head female, and then you'll have the next subordinate female, and the males actually are below. But it can be very difficult, as many species in the natural world. Ooh, can you guys hear that? It's not often you get to hear that sound of the hyena. But I was just saying, it can be sometimes really difficult for when you're a cub growing up, especially I think if you're a male cub, because you're the youngest, and actually. When you're a cub, the mothers will rear you the same. But as they grow a little bit older, they start to fall into the class system a little bit more. So they're protected by the mother when they're a cub. But as they grow a bit older, it gets a lot harder for them. And sometimes the one that is stronger and better will feed more and will become a lot stronger than the other one, and the other one will die. So it can be a cruel world out there, but that's just the way it is, hey? The natural world, the way it works. It was so great. Myself and Jean-Ray were just wondering, what should we do? And I really wanted to see the leopards, but we decided to come and see the hyenas. It's really exciting to watch them play like this. This is the second time I've been able to just sit by the den and watch them play. But it's quite funny to watch this one with the thing in its mouth. I'm trying to figure out what it is. It seems like a bunch of almost. It looks like pine needles, but obviously there's not much pine here, so I'm not sure. What do you think that is, Jean-Ray? What it has in its mouth? Oh, yeah. I wonder if he's using it for his pillow casing. Yeah, it looks like it's holding. Look at my binocular. You say a hoof?
Or a root.
Yeah, it could be plant roots. Yeah, it looks like plant roots. I wonder what the hyena would be doing with plant roots other than just playing with it. Maybe it's going to go and put it into its pillowcase and have a little pillow before it sleeps tonight. But on a more serious question, is it just for play? Hello? Hello? It looks like it's got the sleepy eyes. much like me early this morning. Oh, sweet. So guys, this has been a great sighting with the hyenas, and they've been playing around us and giving me such a great time with them, especially around one of the older dens, and I'm starting to learn this area and the ecology of it a bit better now. And I'm going to sit here with the hyenas, and I'm going to send you back off to Brent's to see the leopards and see how they're doing. But I hope that you guys are all enjoying the drive, and I'll see you now.
So Thandi is still up in the tree. I can't see Tingana, but I think he's behind us somewhere. Ombi? So he seems to have been moving away from her, and she hasn't come down the tree yet, so she might be able to see him from up there. You can see she's definitely very intently staring at something, which I'm pretty sure is Tingana. You can see, looks quite similar to her little mate, Shadow, but I think she's a little bit prettier than Shadow. She's got slightly darker coloration. Ears flat. Wondering if she's going to come down, or is the mating over for now? Is she going to head back towards her territory, or is she going to continue to chase Tingana while he goes on his territorial patrols? Oh, look at that. She does have quite big eyes. Staring back towards where we think Tingana's gone. So both of them look quite hungry. You can see that indentation just in front of her back leg. And so they don't feed too often when they mate. I mean, they are opportunists, so something did sort of happen upon, but they are quite noisy when they're mating. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to catch anything. Oh, I was gonna look at her. She's cleaning her claws. Looks like she might get me up. We're going to move. She's going to come down the tree. So, look at that. Such elegance, such poise, Brian. Big jump coming. Well, she's heading off in the direction we last saw Tingana walking. So we're going to move shortly. We just quite tightly jammed in at the moment. Okay. Just got to wait for tax to reverse so we can move, because as you can see, we ain't going forward. There's a tree in the way. Okay. Look. Yeah. Morning, Orbs.
Morning, how are you?
Good, good. Yeah, William. You call more for the English?
Yeah, cool.
Okay, we can move again now. So the one useful thing about our vehicles is we are much shorter, so we can sort of zig and zag a lot easier. Ryan, how's that stump there? Am I going to miss it if I turn it? Yeah. There we go. Trying to see where she went. She disappeared behind all of us. It's definitely got a bit chillier than when we started. Watch, watch, watch. Are you good, Brian? See a leopard yet? And while we try get into position, let's go jump on board with Sam.
Welcome everyone back to the hyena den. I'm sitting here. They've just gone over the mound and around the other side. So they were playing around my vehicle, and me and Jean-Ray were having a good laugh, as they're quite curious at times. And that thing in its mouth, that, you know, we didn't really know what it was, but it looked like it was a piece of roots that they had got. Wasn't quite sure what they were going to do with that. But hopefully we can see them a bit later, and I just love watching them play. It's such an incredible thing that I've learned from hyenas. Well, with most cats who are quite social, but you'll notice how play is a very important part of their lifestyle, and they learn everything from pouncing and feeding and all those important things they need to learn as they grow up, as they play. So it's always exciting to watch things move around. And I thought I would just take this little book out on the spotted hyena. And there's two types of hyena that we get in southern Africa. With the brown hyena, as you can see, is a lot harder to see in these areas. I've actually never seen a brown hyena, but here this one is a spotted hyena, otherwise known as crocuta. So yes, and as I showed you on my last drive, this is a device that you can put on the hyena and it actually starts making the hyena call. But I'm not going to do that right now, as I don't think that is a very ethical thing to do in the presence of the animal. So maybe a little bit later, when Michael is 13, I think you might really enjoy to hear the sound and we can get to know it a little bit better. But I was just reading through everything here and looking at the difference between the brown and the spotted. And I really look forward to seeing the brown hyena. But noticing here that red little dot means that they are near threatened, so that means that they are vulnerable and going through a difficult time. Within conservation, it's difficult, and they have a very important important role within the ecosystem, because they're actually territory consumers. They are the scavengers. They will go out and they will eat the carrion and some of the old flesh that is left out in the bushveld. So they're actually the the hygienists of the bush. They're looking after all the hygiene, and that's very important, much like vultures. So vultures and hyenas play a crucial role within this ecosystem. But on that, we're going to link back to Brent, and we'll see you just now. Cheers.
So it looks like we were correct. It was a killer round. I'm pretty sure it was gorillas, and Tingana has managed to thieve it. It looks like a diker. So there we go, and that's what all that smelling was about. And he followed his nose right to a meal. There we go. The reason it probably took him a bit longer to find it today is because of the swirling wind. So the scent wasn't coming from a particular direction. It was changing constantly. And yeah, the bones crunching. So male leopards frequently steal kills from the females within their home range, and basically it works very similar to the way sort of male lions work, in that if you're bigger, you get to take what you want. So it looks like this dike has been fed on for a bit before Mr. Tingana found it, and you probably find Krula might have stashed it and she's headed back to feed the cubs. And she's going to be a little bit sad when she comes back not to find any meat. And Thandi is wisely keeping her distance from Tingana while he's feeding, and she is just in front of us. But still quite far from him and not a very good visual from here. Now, he was looking quite hungry and in the mood for a meal, and that's exactly what he's managed to find. And even better, he's managed to find a freebie. Now, there's a possibility that Thandi might come try feed as well. Megan was wondering that. But she will probably get a stern warning from him if she does. With most predators, nothing is better than a free meal, and whether they can steal it from another predator or steal it from another species, they will. I'd say this is a relatively fresh kill, probably yesterday. Hasn't got that lovely 2-day-old carcass pong to it yet. So there's a strong possibility that Karula might return at some point during the day to this carcass. And Rebecca, in final control, is wondering what would happen. Well, it's a very difficult thing to say. It all depends. She might just stop at a distance and look, and female leopards to a certain degree will tolerate other female leopards in their territories while they're mating. But if they're not mating, of course, then there'll be a bit of a standoff. Now, she has a territorial boundary with Thandi to the south of us in Little Gowrie, but she is also her daughter, so they tend not to physically fight too much. There's more sort of hissing and growling and scent marking and calling. But normally in this type of situation, she would probably stop her for distance, watch, and then move on. So Sandra is wondering, if Thandi ran into Karula, would she recognize that they are mother and daughter? It's a very difficult one to answer. I believe to a certain degree, but it by no means that they're going to be friends or stop for a cup of tea. They'll be very aggressive towards each other, specifically on those territorial boundaries, or in this case, if Thandi is inside Karula's territory. And you might find Karula will be even more aggressive, especially because she does have cubs, and another female leopard inside her home range is a big threat to those cubs. Yeah, you can see it is indeed a duiker. What has he heard or seen or smelled? Could it be Karula on cue, arriving back at the scene? Or could there be a hyena on the way? No, false alarm. And he's definitely slightly perturbed about something, and it's not Thandi. Just trying to have a look into the bush beyond, but he seems to have settled again. Now, he might try to fight off a single hyena. He's a magnificent specimen of male leopard. But if more than one arrives, I'm afraid the game is up for him. It is not warm at the moment. I'm very much regretting not bringing my big jacket or wearing long pants this morning. I think I'm going to have to take my blankie out. Oh, that's better. So, we went in search of the leopards when Thandi moved off, and Ak was wondering, was this killed in a tree or on the ground? When we got here, it was on the ground, but that doesn't mean it wasn't in a tree, and it's very possible he might have taken it down from the tree to feed on the ground. So there's not any particularly large marula trees in this area, and he is a big male leopard, so it'd be very difficult for him to find a comfortable spot to feed in these trees that surround us at the moment. So it is possible he might have taken it to the ground once he found it. But we, unfortunately, did not see that. We only found him afterwards. And it's quite a small duiker. He'll make quite short work of it. the interesting question to see is, will Thandi risk trying to flirt with him to mate while he is feeding? So Megan's saying she's never really seen a hyena in action. Would they attack Tingana for the food? Most definitely, Megan. Oh, here comes that very cold wind. They would charge in. You would see the tail come up in excitement. They might cackle a little bit and try and intimidate him. But I have seen him stand off with hyenas before. A female probably wouldn't even wait. She would immediately abandon the carcass. But a big male like this might throw a few punches, so to speak, a few swats of those massive paws. And as soon as the second hyena arrives, he's out, up the tree, out of the way. Okay, so we're going to sit here in the cold. See, I'm under my blanket, holding my legs, while we do that and see what else happens at the leopards. Sam has got some botany to teach you.
Here we are, out in the Sabi sands. Have a look at those clouds, everyone. Very ominous, and it's telling us that the rain is about to come down. As we've just seen a little bit earlier, it was raining quite heavily on us and we were having some difficulty. But you can I really want to try and bring the viewers into this experience. The wind's blowing, so what does the wind do? It makes all the impala quite skittish. Every single time we've driven close to an impala or nyala, they just ran straight away from us. So it's interesting to see how wind can create a difference in the bushvelds, because also it's difficult for them to smell. So you can imagine what it's like to be an antelope out here. But the wind is coming from a northerly direction. The rain has been nice and been a drizzle to quite a few big drops. So that's a little bit of the atmospheric conditions that I'm feeling at the moment, and hopefully they can help you feel at the same time. We were just with the hyenas. It was an exciting little adventure around the termite mound there. Jonna and I had no idea that was actually going to be active, and it was active to our surprise. So that's exciting for us. And you're probably seeing me hold a book here. This is my favorite book, my bedtime story book. It's called The Heart of the Hunter by Lawrence van der Post. And it is just riddled with some of the African stories that the Bushmen used to have. It's very difficult to discern whether all these stories are completely true, and that's exactly the way in which they framed it. But what I found really, really interesting is when I did a story yesterday on the hippo and understanding the way in which the hippo is connected to the water and how it became a water animal rather than a land animal. And this book is a whole bunch of stories that the Bushmans collected over time to understand their environment. They understood nature through storytelling, and this book has given me many, many, many bedtime stories. So over our course of the time, hopefully together we're going to grow in stories, we're going to grow in knowledge, we're going to grow in experiences, we're going to have a lot of fun. But at the same time, I'm going to bring you to one of the first plants that I ever experienced here in the Sabi sands. Have you got good visual there, Genre? The name of this plant, from what I understand, is called the blue commonelia. The blue commonelia, and you'll see it littered around the bush. There's quite a few of them that I've seen lately, and you also get a yellow commonelia, which I think are a little bit more difficult to find. But the story that goes behind this plant is really interesting. From what I heard, that the story was something to do with the three brothers. If you look closely, it actually has three petals. 1, 2, and the third one is over here. but it's a little bit shorter, as you can see. And it's something to do with the three brothers. So when I get back to camp this evening, I'm going to go read up on my knowledge of the blue commonelia and the stories that go behind the name. And I'll come back to you and we'll have another look at a blue commonelia in the future. But that for me is exciting to see another familiar face of the bushveld, as I haven't been here for a long time, so it's all very exciting. And sorry if I sound quite congested. This weather has changed my nasal paths. Just going to get connected and we can carry on our drive.